What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Red Sea Reefer 250. I've done a couple things on this build. I've learned a couple lessons the hard way, which I guess is the best way to learn sometimes. Equipment wise, I ran out of room quickly whenever I had the cube, and now that I have the all-in-one, I don't have as much equipment, so that is nice. But I'm trying to set myself up on this build with room to grow. And I really am trying to minimize the amount of screws that I'm putting into the stand. So what you're looking at now, this piece right here, this is a piece of shelving that I bought from Home Depot. So it runs the entire length of the stand, and then I cut it just about a ½ inch or so from the top, and I double-sided taped it to the wall. Am I concerned about the tape pulling the paint off whenever it comes off? Maybe a little bit, but I would much rather deal with that versus screwing into the stand multiple times. And to be honest with you, this is never going to come out as far as I'm concerned unless there's a catastrophe. So basically this would be used for a reactor or maybe a shelf if I can fit it in here. It depends on the skimmer that I have, but I put it in here with the thought process of mounting a reactor to this specific location. Now it's also going to allow me to mount the PVC to this, and I probably will screw into the stand to mount the PVC there. But on the other side, you can see this compartment is actually, I'm very happy that Red Sea has implemented this in their stands because it gives you a lot of options. Now, the opening to this stand, the reason why this is here is for a chiller. Once again, I've gone to Home Depot. I bought a white piece of shelf and I drilled holes through it. I countersunk the holes in it, and I screwed this into the wall behind the stand. So this is going to allow me to mount any equipment that I have directly to this panel and get it out of the stand. So I've seen a lot of different reefer builds. So I've got a lot of my ideas from a lot of different places. I want to thank you in advance. Anybody that's posted anything to do with these tanks, I've definitely grabbed a lot of your ideas. But basically, my return controller will go on here, the auto top off controller, the Kessil controller. At some point there will be an apex, so this will be perfect for an apex, and it still leaves me the rest of the room inside the cabinet. And then I can very well use this area to mount stuff if I wanted to with Velcro or screw into the stand. But this board right here gives me a lot of options. So what I've done, you can kind of see there's a crease here, but I've put a piece, a board. It kind of makes the stand run into the wall, I guess. But I've got it held on with Velcro so that I can easily remove it. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to the outside of the stand and show you what I got going on there. So this is what you see on the right-hand side of the stand. It's a, I don't know, it's a 4-inch. It's 4-inch from the wall to the stand piece of board, and I got it running from the baseboard all the way up to the top of the stand. Now the reason why I left this open here is because I'm actually going to be running power from this outlet, and it's going to go underneath here. But what I've done is I've taken foam and put it as a barrier between this piece and the stand. They weren't quite long enough, and I wanted to seal it off pretty good. So I think the foam turned out pretty good. This is what the two pieces, if I can get a decent look, you can see where I marked it with the pencil, but these two pieces butt up to one another, and then this is the piece that all my controllers and everything will be mounted on against. And once again, this piece is held on by Velcro, so I can easily remove it. It's not screwed into anything. It's I've set it up so that I can move it if I need to, but basically, like I said, I'm trying to set myself up with as many easy things as I can. I think having all of this stuff outside of the stand is going to help greatly. I originally was going to build sort of like a false wall and have it inside the stand, but I really didn't want to lose any real estate that I have in here. I don't have, a lot of room to work with now that the sump's in here. So I'm limited as far as space is concerned, and Unfortunately, for the time being, my auto top-off container is gonna have to go inside the stand. At some point, I might try to get something outside of the stand so that I can have this area as open area. But this board is going to greatly help me get all of the cables behind the stand, get it looking halfway nice in here, somewhat organized, and we'll see what it actually turns out to be later on. So this is hopefully this has helped you if you have any Red Sea Reefer series tanks. I know the 170s or the stands are kind of small, so I don't really know if it does have the chiller opening, but I know the tanks from the 250s on up have the chiller compartment in them, and I'm a fan of it, like I said, because it allows you to have this huge open area where you can put the equipment. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on my post notifications, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.